Hey, how everybody doing? This is the second installment of Just an Unknown podcast with your host, Unknown Emperor. And first, I'd like to thank anybody who tunes in today, anybody who watches this video at a later date. I appreciate you. I gained a couple of followers. Last stream was a pretty nice one, so I hope to kind of repeat that success. Last video. If you watched it as a video and not as the stream, I feel as though you appreciated it. If hopefully you left a comment, if you know how to get in contact with me, hopefully you gave me some ideas to kind of work on. But without further ado, I just want to go ahead and get into it. So if you saw last week it was anime, wrestling, sports, the whole nine yards. You're gonna get that. This week is kind of like a 180 because I've taken the feedback that I've gotten over the past couple of days. I said I wanted to be diverse. I said I wanted to be open and just kind of let myself be known to people, or as far as anybody's welcome to come on. Any topic, for the most part, is on limits. So I want to make as diverse videos, as diverse podcasts, so I can kind of open myself up and make it to where I'm well rounded and a lot of people can come on or a lot of people can send in requests to kind of get everything took care of like that for me. So this one is kind of a 180 from last week. As you read the title, or if you're reading it now, it is called Emperor of Love. Incoming. That's me. Your unknown emperor, Emperor of Love. This video is gonna have questions and stuff that was given to me to kind of respond to, give my opinion on, give my perspective. And, I'm assuming that's why you tuned in anyway. So, why not give it the best way I can? If you know me, I'm not gonna try to, not gonna try. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna BS you. I'm gonna give it to you from my perspective. I'm gonna be as open and as honest and give it from my viewpoint. Um, how I'm feeling might not be how a lot of other people are feeling. And I understand that because everybody's lives are different. I understand everybody has different viewpoints. So, you're only as true or as right as your perspective, and your perspective is unique to you because having nobody else lived your life or grew up in the nature that you've been in or the way that your mind compartmentalized stuff, having nobody done that. So, your perspective is your reality. It doesn't mean that's everybody else's reality. So I hope anything that I say in this video, the last video, or any other videos or podcasts that I do, that you just take it with an open mind, open heart, because that's how I'm gonna take everybody's opinion whenever you comment on anybody's ideas and then anybody's questions or debate that you might have for me. That's kind of how I'm gonna take it. So hopefully you give me the same courtesy as I will give you. If not, I appreciate every view that you give me, good, bad, like, dislike. I'm perfectly fine because I appreciate the time that you took to even watch my video to give it any type of feedback. But with that said, relationship is a sensitive topic. Love is a sensitive topic. Um, Everything is you know, kind of up in the air right now with this generation. Whether you're pro love, pro tricking, pro thotting, you know, just as long as you're in a good space, everybody is in their own little world. So I guess with the first one I was given, it was to kind of go into my viewpoint or my standpoint of this men versus women debate. I don't feel as though it's men versus women. I feel as though it's a sense of entitlement versus foot in the sand, like drawing your line in the sand. Um, and that goes for men and women, uh, or however you classify yourself. I'm not here to be canceled or go through any type of rigmarole to just men or women, whatever you like, you like. Uh, but my standpoint or my viewpoint on the man versus women is hopefully you work on yourself. Hopefully inside or outside of a relationship, you kind of work on yourself, grow with your partner, and have your standards, have your boundaries, man or woman. It's a lot of men ain't this, women ain't that. That doesn't necessarily set the best precedent or view love in the best of light. It's either what you can do for me and not bringing something to the table, or it's I do this for you, so now you have to kind of sacrifice your life for me. And most humans aren't gonna work like that. Most most people aren't gonna just submit. Excuse me. Gotta take my little Vicks. Get a little cough drop. I appreciate you. Oh, and I got a daiquiri. Kind of soothe my throat too. But back to it. It's kind of like your viewpoint on life. I feel as though it's not necessarily men versus women because the world is gonna try to divide you. The world is trying to divide everybody in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And people are letting it happen. Whether it's race, gender, politics, opinion versus fact, real versus fake, afterlife versus non-afterlife. Like people are gonna try to find a way to divide. So try not to let them divide you. Um, it's a lot of. I feel as though when it comes to relationships, it should be everybody should be happy. If you're the type to sacrifice and that makes you happy, get with somebody who appreciates the sacrifice. Because if you're with somebody who doesn't appreciate the sacrifice, then over time, unless you just kind of grow numb to it, you're gonna get fed up. Um, Being able to be compatible, being able to be compassionate, being able to be open, being able to be vulnerable, being able to be patient, because a lot of relationship is gonna take patience. A lot of relationship is gonna take it's gonna take going through that puppy dog phase and then knowing the puppy dog phase is over and being patient to kind of let everything because once the spark is gone, you're with the person and you have to be compromising or compatible. If you're compatible, it makes stuff a little bit more easy. If you're compromising, then it makes stuff a little tough only because you have to be willing to compromise and you have to be patient because people don't wake up and be another person. That's that takes time, that takes work, that takes help because you have to tear down the being of what that is right then and build up a whole new perspective, build up a whole new person in a way. So that's like uprooting a plant and then taking the seed and expecting the seed that you plant the day that you rip it up to be as full as the plant that you ripped up. That's not gonna work. That's not how it works. That's not how life kind of go. That's not how the human nature. Granted, like I said, my experience, my perspective, nature might be like that. Some people, maybe I'm the weird one. Maybe I'm the odd one out. I completely understand. But I know, I know stuff is gonna take time. Being able to love one another, being able to grow together, but still grow singularly. Being able to grow, grow together, but still keep your individuality, still keep what makes you you. work towards a common goal and just take it step by step. I'm not perfect. I've had failed relationships, or maybe I was young and those don't really count. But you got to get over a lot of stuff, a lot of trauma that you don't even know you have until you start getting up and growing and loving somebody else with trauma. And everybody's baggage is different, so just being able and willing to accept people's baggage and being able and willing to let some baggage go, or letting being able to know which one is to kind of latch on to and hold on to. It's no man versus women. It's it's people feeling like their their opinion is the end all be all and the world should conform to it. That's not that's not it. Your opinion is your world, so you should find somebody that kind of matches your image, or somebody willing to compromise and give up themselves in order to make you happy. But is that a happy relationship? Or it's probably a happy relationship because I'm sure it's beneficial for both. But is both parties actually genuinely happy because possibly one person got to stay the same and the other person had to change up, as opposed to either both people being able to stay the same, or both people changing and compromising and then making the necessary sacrifices. But it's just gonna show up different on everybody. I feel like just giving it time. I feel like right now we're in a period of me, and there's few people, because like I said, past relationships different and mature now. I'm happy in my relationship, gone through ups and downs. Life kind of push, but we're strong. We work hard. We both want it. So again, I don't feel as though it's man versus women. I just feel as though a lot of people want to be main characters, and everybody can't be main characters. Thanks everybody for joining. See a couple people join. I'm be This episode is about relationships, so I'm assuming that's why you clicked in. So thank you for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, and you know, thank you for listening. I'm gonna go to my notes real quick because there's a couple questions that I was that I was tasked with. I'm gonna answer a couple of these questions, but I'm gonna save some of them for another video because last video I went kind of long, got long-winded talking about stuff, and that was a little bit over an hour. Granted, some people watched the whole hour and stayed for the whole thing, so I appreciate it. I don't want to cut you out on your podcast and do this. You want to listen to me for an hour? Please let me know. If you want to listen to me shorter, I mean, just cut the video up in parts. But I appreciate you for viewing me. But first question, because the other one wasn't necessarily a question, it was just like something that I seen while scrolling through Instagram. So, and ooh, this is a nice one. It says, what role does communication play in maintaining a strong connection with your partner? That is a wonderful question. Wonderful question. And I'll repeat the question. What role does communication play in maintaining a strong connection with your partner? It plays a masterful role. But with that, you have to learn how each other communicate, because there is a such thing as nonverbal communication. So that takes with learning your partner. That takes with getting to know their patterns. That takes with talking, communication. All that is key. But that also It also comes with reading your partner's body language. It also comes with listening to your partner talk when they talk, even if it's little, because within them talking is going to explain something, explain how you're supposed to operate, and maybe your communication is opposite from their communication, so it's going to take some compromise on your part, compromise on their part, or expressing to them that your communication might be a little different. But communication is extremely important, because without communication you don't really build a foundation. Without communication you're left with assumptions, you're left with guessing, and humans don't work well when you leave them to guess. Even if you tell them exactly how you're feeling, what you're thinking, they still gonna take their interpretation of it and run with it regardless of it. I can tell you that I'm the happiest person in the world or the saddest person in the world, and you'll take that information and you'll run with it. Was he telling me he's happy just to leave it alone, or was he really happy? Does Is he really sad? Is he just doing that for attention? So communication comes with a double-edged sword, because you can communicate, and it all takes. Sometimes it's how you communicate, but it's also based on the person you're communicating with, being able to break it down, simplify it for them for their way, but also having faith and patience in them, that if they didn't get it the first time, work and continue to water that plant, because as I stated earlier, a seed not just gonna grow instantly. A seed not just gonna be the plant that you ripped up. You can't break a glass and then just put the pieces together without glue or heat and expect the glass to be good as new. Even with the glue, it ain't gonna stick. So why are you expecting this person, especially if you're getting in there as at the pose as like your 20s, as opposed to like you're in your 20s, you still don't know who you are. So you're in this relationship growing, determining who you are as a person, learning how you communicate, learning how you love, and this other person that's probably the same age as you, depending on who you're attracted to, what you like, is going through the same exact thing within themselves, learning who they are, and also trying to learn you with going through it. So that's why communication is key, but it's also comprehension, and it's also patience that kind of go into it. Being able to know what you want, or learning what you want, because that's why friendships die out. That's why relationships die out. That's why bonds and associateships, stuff like that, just kind of die out. Work relationships, they die out because you just kind of go, and people change every day. Excuse me. You can love me one day, hate me another. You can want me another day, don't want me this day, or go through years. Change is sometimes gradual. Change can be instant. You can wake up and not feel somebody, or you can wake up and not like something that you liked the other day. But stuff like that, like, slowly fizzles out as you grow and mature. Your taste buds, your view on the world, your life, your perspective, everything just kind of changes, especially with who you're growing with, as far as your significant other, um, who you come in contact with, friends, family, how they're raised, and how you deal with yourself, and how you deal with your trauma, and how you deal with kind of navigating through life. If you can do that with somebody else and still be yourself, then kudos, and that's good, that's perfect. But within a relationship and within the original question of communication, it just takes being able to know how to communicate and understanding that communication is. Thanks, another person joined in. Thank you for tuning in. Knowing that communication is a two-way street, knowing that communication is comprehension, knowing I can tell you something exactly, and you can probably take it how I say it, or take it a million different ways because that's how you was raised. That's how you operate. So communication is key, but it's not just communication, it's comprehension, it's being patient, and it's learning how each other communicate, learning how each other love languages. You have to figure out love languages. There is a website that you can go to figure out love languages. Mine is, I believe, because like I hadn't taken it in like a year, but based off of who I am as a person, I want to say mine is physical touch. So I will take it again, and I'll let you know on my next like love rendition of a podcast exactly what my love languages are in order. But physical touch, not necessarily a lot of stuff in between, but physical touch, like holding, cuddling, kissing, a lot of bada boom, a lot of love making, like rubbing butt, physical touch. Figure out what your love language is. Read the book. Have both of you read the book. Have both of you take the test. And the name of this daiquiri is I Am Screwed. I got it yesterday. Couldn't really take it, so it's just kind of frozen. So I'm just kind of forcing it. But that was a great question, and I can dive deeper into it. I can keep going, but it was actually a couple of questions that I got sent. So I'm actually proud of the questions. Most of them were sent by my girl anyway, but I'm still here to answer these questions. Mm, this one is, how do you keep the spark alive in a long term relationship? Oh, that's 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 a tough question. Um, because everybody's different. A lot of ways that you can keep the spark alive is continuously doing something new, or the stuff that kind of worked in the beginning. If if you can kind of rebuild or rekindle that spark by reenacting some stuff, changing some stuff around, it's really just just good stuff. You can always do something different. Keeping the spark alive isn't necessarily doing something similar. It could just be adding spice to the everyday life that you do. You cook, you cook an outfit, communicate. Y'all are normally stuck in the house. Y'all are normally stuck in the house. Go out. If you don't normally do stuff that he likes to do stuff he likes to do. If she don't usually do stuff, I mean, you don't usually do stuff she likes to do, you do stuff she like to do. And being able to let that person sacrifice themselves, even if you know that's something that they don't want to do, being able to enjoy the moment, being able to enjoy the experience. I'm more of an experience type person. I'm more of a enjoying the moment, and because you'll never know when you'll get this experience again. You'll never know when you get this moment again. So you always got to take it. You always got to run with it. You always got to enjoy it to the fullest because you never know when it's gonna be over. So in the standpoint of keeping the spark alive, you always gotta go outside the box. You always gotta go. But then that goes back to the first question of communication. If the spark is dying, you communicate that why the spark is dying. Why? What can we do to fix it? Or, like I said, kind of rekindle a bunch of stuff that was happening in the beginning. As far as if you used to go to a specific spot, try to go to that spot again. if y'all kind of died down on the love making, try to try to get that up again. If you used to always sit down and watch movies with popcorn, baby, come sit down and watch movies, popcorn with me. Either one of you can initiate it, but it takes communication in order to just keep the spark alive. I mentioned a lot of stuff. There's people who like to swing. There are actually swingers. I know I know some swingers, and that's how they keep their relationship alive. They go out, they get it. They got clubs. There's clubs in my city of swingers that I ain't even know of. That is an option. You can swing if both of you talk about it and be okay with it. Another variation of that is getting a third man or woman, or maybe not a third that you can involve that way. Maybe just a third to kind of bring in as a friend, another voice, another. I want to say this, another person to look at, because believe it or not, you can get tired, but you can't, because you're with this person for a reason. So you love them and you'll think they're always beautiful to you. But most human nature looks and this, that, and other. They don't necessarily act on it. It's the act, looking, people like to operate how they operate, which is perfectly fine. I don't necessarily take that among nobody. So it, get the third, go out to bars. If you don't go out to bars, go out to bars together. Not necessarily for the third, but just to give yourself a different scenery. If if she like crab legs, take her to crab legs. If you like playing the game, buy an extra controller, teach her how to play a game. You like anime, watch wrestling. Do something to kind of keep working. It never stop working, because as soon as you get stuck in a relationship or you get complacent in any way, shape, form, or fashion in life, then you kind of get lazy. You should always be trying to push forward, always be trying to move, always be trying to yearn to become better, not just for your partner, but for yourself. Not just for yourself, but for your family, for your kids, and for the generations that you want to build and believe. I feel like keeping the spark is extremely important. Keeping the spark, but it's sometimes that the spark gonna fizzle out, and you gotta be able to go through those rough patches. You're gonna have to be able to just keep pushing, keep working. But in those times of the rough patch, you're gonna know, is this person worth working for? Or I'm sorry for the cough. I got the Halls, Vicks, whatever in my mouth, everything. But I still appreciate you. But also, dang, I, back to what I was saying. You really just gotta work hard. Really just gotta keep pushing, because if you give up, one person working towards a goal that two people have an idea on isn't good. Two people have to be working towards the common goal. Two heads are better than one. So double dates, not double dates. Yeah, double dates, because that could be something that can get the spark. Doing something different. Traveling. I don't condone pushing kids for a spark. So to the few people out there that just be like, ooh, relationship dying, let's have a kid. If that's you, that's you. This is a more judgment free zone than Planet Fitness. I don't judge. Who am I to judge? But if you are one of the people that be like, man, this girl finna leave me. Let me go ahead and put a kid in her. Nah, you wild. You are, that's an atrocious behavior. Ooh, this dude, he messing with other women. Let me go ahead and shut him down. No, that is diabolical. That is underhanded. That is fiendish, villainous. Like people like you should be gone. Should be out of there. Like like you should be on house arrest for the rest of your life or in jail. I wasn't even gonna go that hard. Jail, jail, prison, prison. You're telling me that your partner got bored and you forced the child. That's wild activities. Anything but that. Anything will keep the spark instead of forcing the baby. Unless you both mutually just want to have a baby. And again, like I said, if that's your cup of tea, that's fine. I don't judge what you drinking, but just don't judge what I'm drinking and how I drink it over here. Because I drink it like Captain Levi, like with my hand over the top from Attack on Titan. Keeping the spark. Uh, Short story long, long story short. Because there's a lot of ways to keep the spark. As I stated, changing stuff up, being proactive, cosplaying, or what is it called, role playing, like nurse's outfit, stuff like that. Sex in wild places, like in the dressing room at the mall. Don't get caught because that's indecent exposure, and you might go to jail. Matter of fact, don't do it. I don't condone it. Don't do it. Yeah, don't have sex in your car. Don't pull over on the side of the road or go to a park or something and just take your significant other one day. Don't do that. That's that's illegal. Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, don't just be driving one day, you know, and lean over and tongue your woman because you might crash. Don't go to Sydney's at like 10 o'clock at night and buy a pill without telling your significant other, and then come home in a costume after 15 20 minutes of taking said pill and not telling them you take it, and then going for like 11 to 5 o'clock in the morning, and then they ask what's gotten into you, and then you say the same thing that's gotten into you in your stink meaner and Tom's body voice. Don't do that. But uh, but yeah, we don't condone. We don't. Unknown Emperor does not condone the public display of nakedly body parts. What you do is what you do, though. And if you tell me you did it, I'm gonna give you a high five because you didn't get caught, and I'm pretty sure you had the time of your life. But Spark is not just sexual. I just kind of ventured off into that. Spark is like I said, going to movies, going to dates, picnics, doing shit you ain't never did before. You know, venturing out, traveling, going out the country, going on cruises, doing stuff that you've never done, and you're experiencing stuff that you never did with the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. That is how you keep the spark. Long story short, keep 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 holding each other accountable. Keep scratching each other's back. Keep having 50-50 days. Keep having them 90-10 days. Keep having those 99 1% days. That's how you keep the spark. You keep the spark by continuously to be open minded because, like I said, people change every day. Your person might like they toe suck one day, don't like they toe suck the other day. They like buffalo wings one day, and then you try to feed them buffalo and they throwing it across the room. Like people change every day. So being open minded, not being stuck in the past, just being able to push forward and keep going strong. That's how you keep the spark. And there's many other ways. Like I said, if you ever want to come on and talk about it, we can have these same questions and we can have a debate. Because sometimes a conversation, somebody say something, then I have a different response based off of who they are as a person, this, that, and the other. So, might say this now on this solo dolo, me talking to you, Tip. But whenever I have like a person come on, then I know I'm gonna have another discussion. My mom said she want to come on. So as soon as I get my fan base going crazy, mother coming on, y'all gonna see a mother son episode. We're gonna talk about life and stuff like that. So I'm gonna need y'all to like, share, give it to everybody. Share this stream. I'm gonna be streaming for a little bit more, cause I have like a question left. Cause like I said, I ain't wanna kill your night. Go like an hour and go an hour 20. But the Emperor of Love is in the unknown Emperor of Love. I love it. The EOL, the UEOL or EOL, Emperor of Love. That's me. He is I is he. I'm also an unlicensed therapist, so I'm gonna have a podcast answering like questions and stuff like that. I'm gonna have something where somebody come sit down on the couch and we have a one-on-one. I'm gonna have a pad, go crazy. I am an unlicensed therapist, and what that means is like you're that person that everybody comes to, regardless. Like you can be scowled up, mean mug. I've worked in customer service so much, and people just want to divulge their life to you, your friends, family, this, that, and other, because they trust you and they know you're not gonna tell nobody. You're not gonna go crazy. So, and you also give good advice that you don't necessarily follow, advice you don't necessarily follow, but when they listen to it, they follow it and they feel a little bit happier because that's gonna be, you know, that's gonna be my mo. That's why I want to build that kind of safe spot for people to come on that we can talk about it, have these love conversations, have these debates, have these anime conversations, have these maybe politic conversations. If you want to hear politics, or I'm just gonna put out what I put out, and my appreciated people gonna like and follow it. So I'm gonna try to broaden my horizon the best way I possibly can. That's why you getting the Emperor of Love today. I really, instead of my different breed hoodie, I should have had me a heartbreak kid hoodie with a heart on it to show like love. And if you don't know, I love hoodies. I love hoodies. Oh yeah. If you don't know, I love hoodies. So as these endorsements start coming in, you're gonna see me in different hoodies every day. Anime hoodies, graphic hoodies, half and half hoodies, Nike hoodies, maybe Nike. I don't know if I can say Nike. Nike. And then you're gonna see like unknown emperor hoodies. Uh Send me hoodies. Send me hoodies. I ain't even go fake. If you send me hoodies, I'll rock them because I love hoodies. Uh, continue to like, share, and subscribe. I see I got another body that came in. I appreciate you for tuning in. Welcome to the Empire. Like, subscribe, comment. Thank you for joining in. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to it. If you have any comments, feel free to drop a comment. I'm looking for them. I got you. And then, so the last, like one of these questions that I have is something that I've kind of been dealing with a coworker I had, kind of, because she kind of been dealing with life, and um, throughout our conversations, latest one we just had, it kind of came up to the point to where she's with somebody because of good sex. So I'm assuming what she wanted me to kind of flip that into is how should you like should good or bad sex or something a be something you tolerate in a relationship that is toxic, that is unhealthy, that is not necessarily for you. And I'm gonna tell y'all, like I told her, whatever makes you happy. And I said, if she not happy, get out of the situation. But she a little older. She about 37, 38. She feel as though that she on the tail end and life just she kind of stuck. But I'm like, no, you 38, you 37, 38. You got the rest of your life. You got so much more to give than to be with somebody just because they meet good. But I feel as though if you want to stay in this situation, you just have to realize the consequences that come with it. You can't go into it blindly, or you can't go into it knowingly and then still get upset at the outcome if you already knew how the outcome was going to go. That's like me running into a burning building, seeing the fire, seeing the fire, and then being mad I got burnt because I ran in there. That's that's illogical. I feel like I feel like in this circumstances that somebody, if you feel as though, I don't want to tell you to be a hold up. I don't. That's not, because that's not the way to go. I feel like you should kind of love yourself, kind of learn yourself. But the problem that she gonna probably run into it because she hate to be alone. She a only child. I ain't gonna say that's the reason why she don't want to be alone. Being an only child, sometimes you've been alone your whole life. You don't want to have that alone feeling. But also, I don't feel as though if you're unhappy in a situation, you should stay within the situation. Not unless you feel as though it's something that's gonna get better. But if you're only staying in it because the sex was good and that's all it was, then I feel as though in these certain circumstances, you know, kind of learn yourself, kind of branch off. Sex and money, like he don't give her money, but and then time because they have a lot of stuff invested. I, I want to say it's been over 10 years, about 10, 15 years. So they got a lot of time invested. She has more emotionally invested. He's more like physically invested. Like, cause she quick to drop some money on him, quick to give him some throat, quick to, oh, so and so you leave because old dude coming over. But she's also a loving, caring, sweet, amazing person who has so much life to offer. She just don't know herself right now, or at least I feel as though she don't. I feel as though in that type of circumstance, in this particular circumstance, she's not happy. She should she should be more open to doing some type of alone thing, finding a hobby, finding something to kind of preoccupy that kind of void that's been filled there. It's harder than others. Like I said earlier, with the communication and the different types of communication, it's harder with other people. Some people take longer, so you have to be patient and willing to let something like that happen. But I feel as though in the circumstances that she is in the circumstances that she is in particular, that she can kind of cut him off because right now I feel as though he kind of holding her back. One day I'll probably have her on and we'll have like a real discussion so it can be more of a back and forth. Because right now I'm just giving it from my perspective, from what she's giving me from her perspective of the relationship. But I can honestly say that she's better than the situation that she's in. I feel as though she just took the time to be alone for a little minute, learn herself, grow as a person, find out stuff that she like, travel the world, see stuff. Love just gonna kind of come her way. And then if it doesn't, then it's not necessarily meant. Or you're taking the steps to go to love. You're doing the work. And I feel as though the right person, the right situation, the right circumstance is gonna come as you're working on yourself because somebody's gonna see you holding yourself a certain way or working towards it or what you're driving, what you see, how you talk, when your aura, like when you walk into a room, having that lady aura, like that woman aura, is real. Like being able to just having that man aura is real, but a lot of men kind of try to force that aura off on it. Women can try to force it off, but it doesn't have that same weight. But if you have that woman aura to where you step into a room and people know you're in a room, not necessarily because you're the most gorgeous, the most beautiful, the most bustiest, voluptuous, incredible mom thick type of woman, or you got the makeup and this, that, and the others, because you walked in, carried yourself strong and top, and your aura, your presence is kind of gave off. Investing yourself into somebody else and not necessarily pouring that into you, you kind of lost out on some water over the years. But now you gotta take what you're pouring into that other person and pour it into yourself, and grow yourself. Because while you've been growing you, he's been growing himself. No, while you've been growing him, he's been growing him. Ain't nobody really been watering it. Like you'll sprinkle yourself a little bit to kind of, oh, but that's all not that's all for naught because you're doing it to kind of be a bridge. But then you always go back to the side of the bridge. The bridge ain't even complete because you jump and then jump like so. In this complete circumstances, like if you tuned in or getting in a little late, it was being in a situation based off of good sex or based off of not necessarily wanting to be alone. And then, you'll go back and see everything I've said, but the long and short of it is being able to know your worth, learn your worth, the other person's worth, and having somebody who value you. Having somebody who value you and worship you and you worship each other, it's just beneficial. I feel like everybody uses somebody, just or maybe you shouldn't use the word use. Most people need somebody. Everybody lean on somebody. Just have somebody to lean on that you can lean on them back. Just just believing in yourself. Just holding yourself, learning yourself, and then having the faith and the patience to know that love one day is gonna come. I know it's gonna be tough being alone and learning what you like alone sometimes, but sometimes it's needed because you've probably never had that healing space. Sometimes you got to get away from somebody to heal from a previous. You can't expect somebody to fill that void, or you can't expect when you're with somebody that you'd be able to fill that void. Sometimes that void just kind of stays and grows. It takes work. I appreciate everybody for watching this video. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. This is the Emperor of Love, aka the Love Doctor, the Doctor of Love, Love Doctor, Emperor of Love, whatever you want to call me. Love of the unknown, love unknown love. Second podcast. I love it. Getting a little bit more comfortable as it grows, as it continues. Everything's gonna get better. Audio is gonna get better. Topics, strip, guideline as I run through it, as I flow through it. Get comfortable, shoulder slump as I get guests, as I get people sending in notifications, sending in comments, telling me what they like, didn't like, and how I can better it. Already gonna get a better camera coming in or a computer to kind of help. Gonna work on the editing, but everything's gonna take time. So I appreciate y'all for being patient with me and working with me. One of the last things that I wanted to tackle is something that, like I said, half the stuff was people that what they came into me and wanted me to tackle something that's very dear to everybody and that's been getting a lot of attention nowadays. Is just like your self awareness, having like mental health. Um, Knowing that mental health is extremely important. Being able to communicate, being able to talk, being able to kind of open up to people, having that kind of safe spot, having that kind of mentality that this person isn't here to hurt, this person is to help. Being able to see the signs of stuff like anxiety, depression, seeing stuff that repressed feelings, like if you're unhappy, being able to kind of voice the unhappiness, being able to kind of work work towards it. Sometimes you can tackle it by yourself, but if it ever gets too heavy, it's always nice to talk about it. As I stated, I want this to be a safe spot. My DMs are open. I'll leave my IG. My comments are always open. If you ever just want to talk, ever just want to, I don't know. If you ever just want to kick it, whenever want to just talk, ever just want to vent, because sometimes holding it in is a little tough. I'm not gonna go deep into it because as you go deep into it, I know it's gonna open a whole different can of worms. But I just wanted to shed a little light on mental health for everybody, men, women, everybody, whoever, however you identify, being able to being able to just talk about it, being able to not try to repress those feelings, being able to, if you're feeling down, being able to have somebody to talk to. If you're feeling upset, I know some people have different tolerances than others. If it's ever gets too heavy, you can always pray about it. You believe in, religion. You can always send it up to the high powers. You can always meditate. You can always talk about it. There's many different avenues that you can go down. I would want you to exhaust all those options before the last and final option. I'm not, not going deeper into it, but mental health is important. Like knowing where you are emotionally, mentally, physically, not not just mental health. Health is in general, educational health, being common sense, health wise, going to the doctor, emotionally wise, talking to somebody or writing it down in a journal, painting, making music, expressing it however you express it. It's extremely important to not kind of suppress and repress those feelings. Stuff is gonna take time. I know as a man especially, people don't really care about your feelings. Or that's what you've been led to believe over the years based off of always being told, suck it up, get over it, life is gonna work, or just keep working, keep your head down. But we know now that that wasn't the way to go about it. You should have expressed those feelings, and the person that you express them to should have reciprocated them better to let you know that your feelings are valid, how you're feeling is valid, your emotions are valid, you as a person are valid, you are loved, you are appreciated. Even if you express your feelings and the person don't know what to say, just being able to get it off your chest, just being able to work it to somebody. But you got to know, you also got to know who people are. You also got to know that you can't go to everybody. But me, I have your best interest in heart. I'm here if you need me, everything of that nature. I'm just the unknown emperor. So I would love for my empire to be safe. I would love for my empire to to stay here. I love my for my empire to grow, and it takes talking. It takes making this a safe space. This is the empire. Y'all are the empire. The people of my empire. I'll figure out a name for y'all. So if y'all ever want to come to this empire, you know how to get in contact with me. It's gonna be after I kind of build a following up, get a little rapport. But I'm more than happy. Celebrities, if you want to, you can send it out to celebrities. Anybody's welcome. Just as long as we have something to talk about, this, that, and the other. Keep your head on straight. Keep love, positivity into your mind. The Emperor of Love is not signing off because the Emperor of Love is just an extension of me. So anytime you tune into a video, you get the Emperor of Love. But this one is just like a love centric video. Like I said, I didn't even go through all the questions. So the next time you see Emperor of Love, it's gonna be some harder hitting questions. It's gonna be some deeper analysis into it. It's gonna be, mm. But you're gonna see me again soon. Got to keep this consistency up. I appreciate you. Oh, and before I go, this isn't love related. This is completely off the wall. It's completely off topic. But for all my readers out there, or all my people who want it, this isn't even a paid promotion. This is just a book because I'm gonna get into book reviews, and this is a book that I started. I haven't even finished it yet, but You know it's good when you don't finish and you still gotta recommend it. I, I hope I can show you this. It's called The Whisper Man by Alex North. Whisper Man by Alex North. If you like to read, this is more along the lines of the mystery. I normally read stuff like James Patterson. I have a lot of James Patterson over there. This is a New York Times bestseller. I'm gonna finish it, and whenever I finish it, I'm gonna give you an in-depth review on it. But for all my book heads, or if you know somebody that's trying to get into books, that wants to find like something that they can read into, like I said, this isn't a paid promotion. I like this book. I like to read. This is me expanding. This Whisper Man, like mystery, good. Look it up. Look it up. This is the first book that I've gotten by them, so I'm gonna continue to. I want to say it's a series. It might be a series, but I hadn't necessarily done research because I hadn't finished the book. But I'm about halfway through it. It is a great and easy read. And then even if you don't do the Whisper Man, like I said, James Patterson. I love James Patterson. Got a lot of his Alex Cross books. I used to read the old fantasy books with Angel in them, Daniel X. Me and James Patterson, even though he don't know it, are like this. He if you saw my video, my last video, the weekend and me is like this, and the weekend don't know it. Me and James Patterson are like this, and he don't even know it. I would love to have him on. Whenever I start making books, my pattern, my my layout, my is gonna be modeled after James Patterson. His mystery, his storytelling, I love it. It's gonna be modeled after James Patterson. But this isn't the James Patterson. This is the Whisper Man, Alex North, the Whisper Man. Check it out. Barnes and Noble, local library, anything like that. I am your unknown emperor. Thank you for tuning in today. Sorry I had a cough. Next time you see me, I won't be feeling this bad, but I had to give my people something so you don't forget about your unknown emperor. If you want a hoodie, this is a raw hoodie. It comes in different colors. Check out itsdifferentbreed.com. Whisper Man, this, that, and the other. Thank you for joining the Empire, or thank you for tuning in. Like, subscribe, comment, or nah, I was gonna say or don't. Like, subscribe, comment. If you like this type of video, tell me what you liked about it. If you didn't like it, tell me what you didn't like. But this, like I said, this isn't the last time you've seen the Love Doctor, the Emperor of Love, Emperor of Love, Emperor of Love, not Love Doctor. I don't know why I said that. Emperor of Love, unknown Emperor, Emperor of Love. Whenever you see it, it's gonna be big hearts, in depth. Um, but I had to keep other questions and everything like that. But I appreciate you. Signing off, your unknown emperor. Thank you for tuning in. I will talk to you guys at a later date. I will do better with advertising. I'll do better with having a set schedule so you can kind of wait on me, instead of it being on what it is right now. But thank you, love you. Even though you don't know me, you're going to get to know me. Share with all your celebrities, share with everybody you know, your local artists. Let them know. I even do reactions. I react to their music right here. Whenever I get the setup and everything, right. But I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good one and good night. You have a blessed one. Finna tune into some AEW, and hopefully I can give you a review on AEW into the coming days. Y'all have a blessed one. Good night.